why we're here tonight, and in my haste to find some reading glasses, and in my panic because I spilled red wine on my speech, I forgot to thank everybody for coming tonight, and to honor everybody here for being here, because that's why we're here. To present the Public Official of the Year Award, I'd like to bring up our Congresswoman, Loretta Sanchez.
Nora, you dream about grilling Cheney. My dream job is I actually get to do it. Good evening. Antonio Villaraigosa is first and foremost my friend. Thank you, Antonio. He is the first Latino mayor of Los Angeles since 1872. I believe he is the most progressive mayor in America. He is certainly the most innovative, proposing initiatives locally to correct bad policies made in Washington, D.C. Historically, Antonio was active in MESHA when he went to UCLA, and as we all know, that's a radical civil rights organization. Oh, well, that's what some people say. Antonio volunteered at the age 15 in the Great Boycott with Cesar Chavez. That's where he learned his first Spanish words, si se puede. He was an organizer for the United Teachers of Los Angeles. And if you look at what he's trying to do in Los Angeles, he's still trying to organize them. He was the president of the Los Angeles chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union. As an assembly speaker, and a great assembly speaker, he championed the causes of education, passing the most sweeping law with respect to the modernization of our schools in California. He championed health care, putting in the Healthy Families Program, one that matched and put even more funds from a state level to our federal funds so that he could insure over 500,000 uninsured children in California. He championed civil rights and social justice. And I think one of his greatest legacies as the Assembly Speaker are the laws that he passed with respect to our neighborhood parks, in parts of our cities that had really never had a place for children to play. As our mayor, he has removed all lobbyists from city commissions. And Antonio, we need your help with lobbyists in Washington, D.C. He has infused over $50 million to the Los Angeles Housing Trust Fund, and all of that has been targeted to getting the homeless off of the streets. Not in the way Giuliani did it, but really to put them in more permanent structures. And Antonio, I hope you succeed in your latest proposal, and that is to help to bulk buy drugs for Los Angeles citizens. Because as you know, in Washington, D.C., we passed a bill that prohibits the federal government from negotiating with drug companies to lower the price of prescription drugs for Medicare recipients. Antonio's favorite book as a youngster was Herman Melville's, no, not Moby Dick, but Billy Budd, the one you didn't read. Now, Billy Budd is about a young sailor who is a fierce fighter and a loyal friend. And Antonio, you are our Billy Budd because you are loyal and an incredible fighter for all consumers and people in particular who live in Los Angeles. And so it is my pleasure tonight to present you with the award. I believe we have a video for you. No video? Cheap show. Antonio Villaraigosa, the mayor of Los Angeles.
Wow. Taking her on the road with me. Thank you, Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez, the giant killer. Woman who had the audacity to run against a Republican congressman who earned his place in infamy as against everything that I think this country's all about. Thank you so much, Loretta Sanchez, for being here tonight and for supporting consumers. Sometimes there's nothing more that you can say other than thank you and acknowledge tonight's other honorees. And I want to honor, of course, my friend Brown Green, who is table number 18. For his lifetime of protecting consumers, and Roseanne Navarro with the California Nurses Association, who almost single-handedly demonstrated that the nurses are to be contended with. Give her a big hand. You know, to be honored by the Foundation for Taxpayer and Consumer Rights, an organization that has been fighting and winning for ordinary working men and women on issues ranging from auto insurance to health care, is a compliment I can't possibly repay. Thank you all. I will cherish this award. And I think it's particularly fitting that this award comes with the symbol of the American flag. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about progressive politics and progressives, but before I do that, let me acknowledge a man that we're here to remember and revive the spirit of a man named Phil Burton. I think in these times, it's important for us to remember what he stood for, what he fought for, and what he achieved. I love how Jerry Tay summed up Phil Burton in his history of the National Park Service. Descriptions of Phil Burton, he wrote, reveal that he was a good doer who had no patience for do-gooders, who settled for glorious defeats. He loved to win, knew how to win, and expected to win, Jerry Tay said. Burton himself put it more succinctly. In his own mind, he was simply a fighting liberal. I believe that progressives need to go back to school to learn a little bit about who Phil Burton was and what he stood for. Now more than ever, not only here in Los Angeles or in the Golden State, but across the nation. We need to remember his instruction that it's not just about taking stands, it's about being able to stand up and look back at the lives you've changed. It's about taking our belief in the intrinsic worth of every human being and making a lasting imprint on the lives of every human being. It's about fighting the good fight and winning as well. And I don't want to confuse the issue. Phil Burton wasn't talking about winning by losing sight of our principles. Just think about the fights that he fought. In one of his first acts as a member of Congress, he stood up and fought the House Un-American Activities Committee. From the earliest days, he led opposition to the war in Vietnam. He became one of the House's leading advocates for the poor and the aged. And he fought and won passage of legislation creating the Redwood National Park and the Golden Gate Recreation Area. So, give him a hand. So what's this even really about? The words rage for justice, say it better than I ever could. It's about reminding us all that we need to put the fight back in the progressive movement. It's about recognizing that in order to win, we need to stand up and say what we're willing to fight for. Because friends, in case you haven't noticed, we haven't exactly been winning the national debate. And it's even worse than that, with the debate in Washington now so intractably divided between the people who want to tear government down and the folks who just want to preserve the status quo and protect the programs we've got. Most of us are left wondering which of the two major parties is really the conservative party today. If the last national election showed us anything, it's that the right can transform a decorated war hero into a caricature of weakness when we're not strong about what we believe in and why we believe what we believe. Phil Burton would tell us to stand up and say who we are. And now, I know that this isn't a program to talk about national politics, but I do want to close with just one example. I think our party, I think our nation needs to begin to stand up for the idea that health care is a right, not a privilege. These men who are standing here decided, let's give them a big hand, please. We're putting the food on our tables. They know what a difference a union makes. Because they have a union, they have health care benefits. But unfortunately in America and here in Los Angeles, 1 in 4 residents have no health insurance. Over the past 5 years, health insurance premiums for American workers skyrocketed by 73%, while wages have grown by just 15%. More and more families are losing pace with rising costs. And with health insurance companies reaping record profits, escalating premiums have stranded some 46 million Americans without insurance. It's just plain wrong. We progressives can no longer be afraid to declare that access to health care ought to be a right in the richest state in the greatest nation in the world. So let's join the fight for health care for every single American. Let's say that Democrats and Republicans alike, let's do what Phil Burton would do. Let's fight to win. Thank you so all. It's an honor to be here.
I want to thank the mayor and congratulate him on his award tonight. And invite all of you to have your dinner, and we'll be back after we eat. Thanks.